Scene script. Have you ever considered how JDM Drift came to be a sensation in Japan and beyond? Picture this. It's the 1970s in Japan. The vibrant city lights of Tokyo are a stark contrast to the quiet, winding mountain roads just outside the city. It's here, in these mountainous terrains, that the heart of JDM Drift began to beat. This is a story of speed, skill, and most importantly, style. Enter Kunimitsu Takahashi, a name synonymous with the origins of drifting. A professional motorcycle racer turned car racer, Takahashi brought a unique flair to the motorsport scene. With his daring, sideways sliding approach, he transformed the way racers approached corners, leaving spectators in awe. This was the beginning of drifting as we know it. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. The birth of JDM Drift was a turbulent one. Drifting started as a rebellious act, a spectacle that was initially frowned upon. It was seen as a disregard for the conventional, an act of rebellion against the established motorsport norms. But it was this rebellious spirit that resonated with the youth of Japan. What started as a defiant act on the mountain roads of Japan gradually began to gain traction. The thrill of the drift, the adrenaline rush of speed, and the sheer audacity of the drivers began to draw in crowds. Slowly but surely, drifting was no longer just a rebellious act. It started gaining recognition. It became a phenomenon. And the man at the heart of it all, Kunimitsu Takahashi, was not just a pioneer, but a driving force that propelled drifting from a local sensation to a nationwide spectacle. His audacious driving style, the artistry with which he controlled his car, and his relentless pursuit of pushing the boundaries of what was possible on four wheels inspired a generation of drifters. With its roots firmly in Japan, JDM Drift was set to conquer the world. So, how did JDM Drift transition from a rebellious act to a celebrated sport? This question takes us back to the vibrant and daring 80s and 90s in Japan, a time when the underground and street racing scenes began to truly blossom. It was during this period that drifting evolved from a fringe activity held in mountain passes to a recognized form of motorsport, adored and admired by many. This rise in popularity was, in part, due to the formation of professional drifting competitions. The D1 Grand Prix, in particular, played a significant role in the growth of the drifting culture. Established in the late 90s, this competition was the world's first professional drifting series. It provided a platform for the best drifters to showcase their skills, pushing the boundaries of what was possible with a car and creating a spectacle that captivated audiences far and wide. But the rise of drifting culture was not solely due to the advent of professional competitions. Popular culture had a significant part to play too. The manga and anime series, Initial D for instance, played a pivotal role in the popularization of drifting. Through its gripping narrative and immersive racing scenes, it brought the excitement and thrill of drifting to a wider audience, igniting a passion for the sport in many young hearts. The series, which centered around a young tofu delivery driver who becomes an unlikely drifting sensation, resonated with many. It showed that drifting was not just about high-speed thrills, but also about precision, control, and the sheer joy of driving. It painted drifting as a form of art, a dance between man and machine. And it was this depiction that helped cement drifting's place in mainstream consciousness. As JDM Drift gained momentum, its impact was not limited to Japan alone. The influence of this unique motorsport started to ripple outwards, touching car enthusiasts across the globe and setting the stage for the international recognition and adoration that drifting enjoys today. What happens when a cultural phenomenon like JDM Drift crosses borders? In the early 2000s, the world began to take notice of the drift revolution originating from Japan. JDM Drift, with its unique style and unabashed celebration of car culture, was no longer confined to the streets of Tokyo and Osaka. It was going global. The United States was one of the first countries to welcome this new wave of drifting with open arms. Inspired by JDM Drift's bold and daring nature, American car enthusiasts began to integrate drifting into their own motorsports. This led to the establishment of professional drifting competitions where drivers could showcase their skills and the performance of their machines. Meanwhile, across the pond, Europe was also catching the drift fever. Countries like the United Kingdom, Germany, and France started hosting their own drifting events, drawing crowds of spectators eager to witness the adrenaline-pumping action. These competitions not only popularized JDM Drift, but also fostered a sense of camaraderie among the international car community. The story was similar in other parts of Asia. Nations such as South Korea, China, and the Philippines, influenced by Japan's car culture, started to embrace drifting as a form of motorsport. JDM Drift had successfully bridged the gap between different cultures, uniting them under a common passion for cars and drifting. But the influence of JDM Drift didn't stop at competitions. It permeated into the very fabric of international car culture. The distinct aesthetics of JDM cars, their performance modifications, and the spirit of drifting became a source of inspiration for car enthusiasts worldwide. Suddenly, everyone wanted a piece of the JDM lifestyle, and it was reflected in the cars they drove, the modifications they made, and the way they viewed motorsports. From a humble beginning on the mountain roads of Japan, JDM Drift had traveled thousands of miles, crossing oceans and continents. It had sparked a revolution, changed perceptions, and inspired a new generation of car enthusiasts. From a local sensation, JDM Drift had become a global phenomenon. Fast forward to today, what is the state of JDM Drift now? Japanese domestic market, or JDM Drift, has come a long way from its rebellious roots. Today, it stands at the forefront of motorsports, a testament to the enduring appeal of this thrilling, high-octane sport. The adrenaline rush of a perfectly executed drift, the roar of the engine, the smell of burning rubber, it's an experience that has captivated the hearts of car enthusiasts worldwide. The popularity of JDM Drift continues to soar. It's not just a niche sport anymore, it's a global phenomenon. From the streets of Tokyo to the racetracks of America, Europe, and beyond, JDM Drift has made its mark. It's in the sleek design of modern sports cars, in the roar of the engines at motor events, and in the hearts of those who live for the thrill of the ride. What's most remarkable is how JDM Drift has maintained its rebellious spirit while evolving with the times. It's still about pushing the boundaries, about defying conventions, about that exhilarating blend of speed, skill, and style. But it's also about innovation and adaptation. Today's drift cars are feats of engineering with advanced technology, enhancing performance while ensuring safety. JDM Drift has also influenced modern car culture in profound ways. It has made its way into popular media, with films and video games introducing the thrill of drifting to a wider audience. It has inspired a new generation of car enthusiasts who appreciate not just the aesthetics and performance of cars, but also the skill and precision that goes into a perfect drift. But perhaps the most significant impact of JDM Drift is how it has transformed our perception of motorsports. It's shown us that there's more to racing than just speed. It's about style, about control, about the art of driving. It's a dance on wheels, a ballet of burning rubber. JDM Drift, born out of rebellion, has become a defining element of modern car culture. What legacy has JDM Drift left behind, and how does it continue to influence people today? As we delve into the enduring influence of JDM Drift, we see its impact reverberating far and wide. From the sleek contours of car design to the adrenaline-pumping racing techniques, and even the pulsating beats of pop culture, JDM Drift has weaved its magic into all facets of our lives. Let's begin with car design. The JDM Drift aesthetic, characterized by compact builds, wide wheel arches, and aggressive aerodynamics, has become a staple in contemporary car design. It's not just about looks, These modifications enhance performance, allowing drivers to achieve greater control and speed. The influence of JDM drift is undeniable, evident in every car that zips past, leaving behind a cloud of dust and a trail of awe. Next, we move on to racing techniques. Drifting, once considered reckless, is now an art form, a ballet of speed and control. The techniques pioneered by JDM Drift have revolutionized racing, injecting it with an unparalleled level of excitement and thrill. Racers around the world now employ these techniques, sliding around corners with precision and flair, a testament to the enduring legacy of JDM Drift. And let's not forget pop culture. JDM Drift has skidded its way into films, video games, and even music, becoming a symbol of freedom, rebellion, and unbridled passion. It's inspired a new generation of car enthusiasts and racers, young souls drawn to the thrill of speed and the allure of control. They continue to keep the spirit of JDM Drift alive, pushing boundaries and challenging norms. From its humble beginnings, JDM Drift has left an indelible mark on the world, shaping how we see and experience car culture today. It's more than just a racing style, it's a way of life, a philosophy that embraces the joy of movement and the thrill of control. And as long as there are roads to conquer and cars to command, the legacy of JDM Drift will continue to burn bright, inspiring generations to come.